Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Crucible changes that were listed in the TWAB. So today's TWAB was pretty much all about Crucible, and I think that the changes that they listed are going to be super good and super healthy for the game, and I think it's going to make Crucible a lot more fun in the long run. So without further ado, let's talk about the changes. So the first thing that's going to be changing is obviously Unbroken title is going to be gone. You're not going to be able to get it anymore. Though for me personally, I thought Unbroken was never really worth it in the first place. I didn't really like playing comp. Mainly because after they took out the pinnacles, there's really no incentive to playing it. But other than that, I just don't really care for survival all that much. I probably could have gotten Unbroken if I really wanted to. But now I don't really have to worry about that because now we're going to have the new title, Glorious. So what's good about the Glorious title is I think that it's going to be fairly easy to get for a lot of players. Completing different matches, earning ranks, reset those ranks. And there's a few more challenging ones or time-consuming ones like acquiring gold medals or climbing to Platinum Division, which we'll talk about the divisions in a minute. Those will be a little time-consuming and can be hard for a little bit of the more average player, I feel like. But I think overall this is going to be absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on that title. So the next thing that they listed and that I really liked was the Crucible engram focusing. So like Drifter, you're able to turn in your Gambit engrams in order to focus or just pop the engrams. You can focus and get certain loot. Now it is kind of pricey, and it is pricey for Crucible as well. But yeah, we're going to be able to focus our drops. It's going to be 10,000 Glimmer and 50 Legendary Shards to focus them, which isn't as expensive as Drifter. Drifter it does make you, like, I think it's like 100 Legendary Shards, which is insane. It might be 50, actually. I don't know. Regardless, it's still pretty expensive to do, but I don't know, man. That's not too bad. I like being able to actually focus and target our drops. It's super useful and kind of shaves off a lot of time. Normally, you'd have to spend a lot of time just farming to get a certain role. Now you don't really have to do that as much. But even on top of that, we're going to be having legacy focusing. Now, legacy focusing basically allows us to focus armor sets, or I think just armor sets, but old armor sets that you can't get anymore, like the Exile set from Trials when it first came back. I think it was in like season 7, which is a really long time ago. But now you will be able to focus for them, and that's really great because I feel like the Exile set has been a very coveted, sought-after armor set, and I feel like some people aren't going to like that you can focus them because then it kind of like depreciates the value. I personally don't really care. It's just an armor set. But yeah, glad that people are finally going to be able to get it, and I'm going to be able to get that helmet for my Titan. Cannot wait. I love that helmet, so definitely going to be focusing that instantly. And then on top of that, we're going to be having a new Iron Banner game mode. I believe it is called Fortress. It's pretty much zone control, but you're gonna like have, from the picture, like it looks like Keitel sends in turrets to try to stop you from capping the flags or something like that. Could be interesting. I mean, Iron Banner at this point is just a party mode, so I really don't care. Some people are gonna take that as an L. I don't really care that much. It's fine. But what is a huge dub in my opinion is the armor for Iron Banner. What is coming back is that Taken King era armor set, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. It's always been one of my favorite armor sets in the game for Warlock and Titan and Hunter. The Wolf Cloak looks fantastic, and I can't wait to get my hands on that. And but talking more based on the matchmaking aspects of Crucible, I know we're kind of jumping around. It's just how I have my notes, but there's going to be new matchmaking techniques. So basically, it's going to make connections better for higher end players, and it's going to loosen quitter penalties. So basically, the quitter penalty, I think you can leave a little bit more and still not get banned yet. And you're actually going to be able to see the timer, and it's not going to be for as long. It's probably going to be like 10-20 minutes, which is still a little annoying, but not too bad. And they're also adding in, I think it's fire-based or fire team-based matchmaking, where basically if you are running Crucible as a 6-stack, then you're going to run into 6 stacks more than likely. Same thing with 5s and 4s and things like that, I think, which is a really good change. I think I've been kind of preaching for this for a while, that 6-stack should not play against a bunch of singles, because then it just turns into a one-way, just a one-sided fight, and it's just not fun to play. So I'm glad that they're doing this. And also Trials will get this, which is very, very interesting. And it should be making the solo players feel like they have more of a chance. And I played solo Trials. It can be hard when you run into 3 stacks. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see how that plays out. And on top of that, Trials will also be getting a new LMG and a 140 hand cannon. And I cannot wait to see how those play out. I really like my 140s. LMG, don't really care about that much, to be honest. But the hand cannon, I'll be farming for it. Trust me on that. On top of that, we're going to get a returning of 2 old Destiny 2 maps. I don't know which maps we're going to get. There's a few that come to mind. Some of the Mars ones look really, really cool. And seeing as Mars came back, I think Meltdown was one of them that I would really like. That map was great. I love that map. I can't really think of any other ones, to be honest. Maybe like Citadel on the Dreaming City. I like that map. I feel like it probably wasn't well received, but I thought it was a good map. And then we get a classic D1 map, and then one brand new map, ultra brand new. I don't know when we're going to get the brand new map, probably with Lightfall, not Season 19. But an old D1 map would be great. I don't know which one that we could get. Maybe Pantheon on Venus or something like that would be awesome. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Next season, 3 new maps, or new, but regardless, 3 maps getting added, which is great. But now moving on to the competitive side, or the comp side of the game. I feel like this is a very, very neglected playlist, and now we're going to be getting it completely revamped. It's going to be so good, and I'm actually going to play the game mode this time, because there's going to be a real incentive. So what it's going to be doing is adding a competitive division to Crucible with ranks. So the divisions are Copper, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Adept, and Ascendant. And it's similar to like if you played Apex, where it's like, I think it's Bronze to Apex Predator. Same kind of deal. The better you play, the more wins you get. Things like that will boost up your rank in the ranked playlist, and you will get some new loot, which we'll talk about the loot. It's pretty much one thing. And it's not gonna, and everybody's gonna be able to get it. But the higher rank that you get, the more Crucible rep that you're gonna gain. So I think it goes from, if I look at the TWAB, I think it goes from Copper is just 1 flat, and I think that, yeah, Copper and Bronze is 1 flat, Silver is 1.1, Gold is 1.2, Platinum is 1.3, Adept is 1.4, and Ascendant is 1.5. Now, you do have to keep these ranks. You can't just get to Ascendant or however high you can get and then quit. You're going to have to keep playing if you want to keep your rank, or else you're going to see your rank is going to go down. It's going to start to deplenish, and you have to basically play each week in order to keep your rank if you care that much. But the rating is based on how many times you win or lose, how far you are on your division versus how well you play, or versus your skill. How well you did on a match-to-match basis. So how well did you do on this match versus this match and then this match? And then how your skill was compared to everybody else in the lobby. These are very, very good things, in my opinion, to look upon, because I think a lot of the problems when it comes to Crucible, or a lot of these ranked playlists in other games, is they go based on your wins alone. Like Valorant, for example, you could play extremely well and still lose the match. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get... I think you're still going to lose the same amount of RP than you... maybe I'm wrong on that, but you could be the best in the lobby and lose, and still lose the same amount of points as everybody else. But now, hopefully, maybe you'll lose a little bit less, or maybe you won't lose at all if you do really well. I don't know. Can't wait to see how that goes. But there's also, with the promotion series, how do you move in between Bronze to Silver, or Gold to Silver, or Gold to Plat, or Adept to Plat, like whatever, how does that work? So when you get to a certain point in your ranking, and you would basically go from, let's say, Bronze to Silver, you would have to win 2 out of 3 games that you play next to move up to the next rank. And if you're going down, it's the same exact way. You have to win 2 to 3 matches to stay in that division. I think this is pretty cool, in my opinion, because it does kind of give you a little bit of a safety net in a way. So you could get to, if you get a little low, let's say you're in Ascendant and you want to stay in Ascendant, then you kind of have a little bit of a safety net there. And if you can win 2 games, you're going to stay in that rank. And that's really, really cool. I think that's cool. And I think that's a great feature that they're adding in. But the best thing, in my opinion, that they're adding into competitive is Rose returning. So back in the day, there was a quest for Lumina, the hand cannon, where you would basically get a legendary 140 known as Rose, and it was a super loved hand cannon by the community. In it, for right reason, it was really really good. It didn't even have that great of perks. It just felt amazing. That's why everybody liked it. But now the gun is going to return, and it's going to be extremely special because it is a hybrid 140. So what that means is it's a hybrid, whereas it shoots like a 140. So you're going to have the RPM of a 140, but it allows you to move around like it was a 150. Because if you don't remember or you don't know, Rose back in the day was a 150, which is a extremely rare archetype of hand cannon. There's only one hand cannon in the game that's a 150, and that is Sunshot. So this should be absolutely insane, and it will have random rolls. So if you can, assuming that the rolls are phenomenal on this thing, this could be easily the best hand cannon in the game. And seeing as it is for Crucible, I imagine that a lot of the perks on it are going to be Crucible, like good Crucible perks, like Rangefinder and Rapid Hit maybe, or something like that. Things that would be really, really good for Crucible specifically, and maybe a little bit of PvE in there, but the hand cannon, in my opinion, should be have perks good for Crucible. So getting this, you can get 3 per week, and that's 1 per character. There's a quest line for it. And really, that's a lot, and most of the good things that you can get from the Crucible changes. This is what I noticed. If you have anything else to add into the good section, please let me know in the comments. And I only have really like 2 negative things to say about all this. And the first one, I feel like a lot of people might have the same opinion, or just, I don't know, some agree with me or whatever. The first one is leaving skill-based matchmaking and quitter penalties into quick play. To me, it makes 0 sense why you're going to keep this if you have a ranked playlist in your game. I think this is a lot of the problems with like Apex Legends. If I'm not mistaken, Apex Legends has skill-based matchmaking in both playlists. So there's a ranked one where you play in ranked, get a higher score, and just that, and the higher skill you are, the harder the lobbies you're going to get. That just makes sense to me. But they also have this in quick play. Their quick play, just normal play, just load in, play, have fun. There's still skill-based in that. To me, it doesn't really make sense why you would keep both. I just feel like for a game like Destiny, where if we're going to have the super intricate copper to ascendant based skill in when it comes to ranked, I don't understand why we still have to have the loose skill-based matchmaking in quick play, which by their definition is comparative to a what do they call it? It's going to be like comparative to a I can't remember what they called it. Oh, a pickup game at the gym where it's just for fun. So I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. Sorry for the brain fart. I kind of just scrolled through the TWAB there, but it is what it is. And then the only other bad thing that I feel like, and I don't really care that much about this, but I feel like the community could be a little upset about this, and kind of a little bit to me. I'm kind of upset about it, but I don't really care at the end of the day. And that being reused weapons and armor for Iron Banner in PvP, that being the Taken King armor set and the Rose hand cannon. I feel like it's kind of shitty that we're just gonna get the same gun Rose with just different stats, where they could have easily have just added in a new gun, but instead they just chose an old gun that they have the assets for already and gave it new stats and new perks. I feel like that's a little lazy. Kind of the same thing for Iron Banner, but they did the same thing with Crucible, or with the Exile set. So but again, I personally don't really care about this that much, but I know a lot of people are probably going to be upset about that. But that's really it for the bad. Not really anything too crazy in there. I just want to kind of show that off a little bit and just kind of show my thoughts and opinions on all the changes. Overall, I think, again, this is going to make Crucible a lot more fun and a lot better overall, and I can't wait to see how all this shit plays out. But thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other opinions that you'd like to discuss with me, please leave them in the comments below. I would really like to hear it. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.